Now it's time to meet our final 2021 SCI Idealist. For the introduction, I'd like to call upon Kenyora Lanier Parnham, Executive Director at End Rape on Campus.
Thank you so much for the invitation to be here this afternoon. My name is Kenyora Parham, and I serve as the Executive Director of End Rape on Campus, a national and globally recognized organization that works to end campus sexual violence in the higher education space. And I am a proud alumna of the class of 2016 of the Community Fellows Program with the Institute for Nonprofit Practice, led by its extraordinary and phenomenal leader, Yolanda Coentro. In 2018, I moved from the Boston area to the DC area to take on a new role as the Chief of Staff of End Rape on Campus. And within 1 year, the organization was on its way to closing its doors. And as the second most senior staff, I was asked by the board of directors to take the helm. I accepted the challenge, but not first without calling on Yolanda, who I called on for guidance. She quickly went into high gear and guided me through. And I remember the first thing she said to me was, "You don't have to do this, but I know you can do this." And connected me with another executive director who went through a similar hurdle. Needless to say, EROC is still here, and we're thriving under Civic Nation, which stems from staff of the Obama administration, who essentially created a home for change makers who inspire, educate, and activate people around issues that will define this generation. So there is a reason that I share with you the position in which I serve, and that reason is simple. I knew I could get to this position based off of my skill set and my experience, but it was through IMP and Yolanda's guidance, mentorship, profound discernment, ingenuity for seeing the humanity in people, and her ability to see me that I truly knew I could get there. So when I was asked to introduce Yolanda, or some of us who can lovingly call her Yo, it was within minutes and without hesitation, I immediately accepted. However, I can give the roses that Yolanda so absolutely deserves, I will take every opportunity to do so. Yolanda has been there for me in more ways than I think she knows, because it's not always about what people do for you directly, but also how they show up in this world that demonstrates true leadership, friendship, community, and family. Yolanda has made an incredible mark, not only on my life, but the lives of our entire IMP family and partners, because she recognizes the important need to not only work both efficiently and collaboratively across different sectors, but also what it means to provide access and opportunity to young and seasoned professionals at the intersections of their identities, who simply want to be seen, heard, and be their authentic selves as they navigate through the complexities of the work and service sectors, where internal cultural change and shifting can be quite daunting. So if there is anyone who's an idealist, but also a realist and a visionary, it is Yolanda, because she dares to lead with love, humility, and empathy. For me, if the saying "lift as you climb" was a person, Yolanda is my person. So congratulations to my favorite person and human being who's in my corner always.
Wow. These are the times where you want to be in the room so you can hug, because there aren't words to really capture it all. So I'm glad Paul cried first, so then Kenyora and I could come thereafter. Kenyora, thank you so much. You always touch my heart, and I'm just so honored to be in your corner and to have you in mine. And really a huge and deep thanks to everybody from the SCI team and board and broader community, the AmeriCorps members, for your service. I'm just so incredibly honored to receive this award alongside two other amazing leaders and friends who I've kind of made it my job to find ways to hang out with them and learn from them and glean from their incredible leadership, Betty and Paul Francisco, and from an organization whose mission and work and deep connections in our community I've continually admired. SCI leverages relationships for change, and from the start, they acknowledged and amplified the power of social capital and the importance of sharing it. This is core to the mission of the Institute for Nonprofit Practice, or INP as we call ourselves, where I'm so humbled to work and to bring, my time and heart to. At INP, we transform communities by equipping the most promising social impact leaders from nonprofits, public sectors, and social enterprises, people like Kenyora. We bring the skills, networks, confidence, resources that they need to effectively lead, to advance justice, to rise in their careers, and make their organizations effective, innovative, and sustainable. And we're also deeply committed to closing historic racial and gender gaps in leadership, and to ensure that the social impact sector reflects the communities that we all serve and its diversity. And we do this by building the knowledge capital, the financial capital, and the social capital of our student leaders. So there's great alignment here. And for me, it's personal. It's one of the determining factors in my own leadership success to date. As a young person, it was a family friend who helped me get into a summer program at Brown University that gave me a view on what education in college might mean for my family. And in college, it came from a teacher, Professor Bergen, who introduced me to an admissions director of a master's in social work program, who both enrolled me early in the program and later supported me to finish paying for my degree, as I nearly dropped out because I didn't have the financial means. As a professional, there were countless colleagues, friends who made introductions, who showed me the leadership ropes, who reminded me of my value, who pulled up a seat for me or shared their own seat at the proverbial table. And as a student and leader at INP, it was our founder, Barry Dim, who connected me and shared his influence and relationships, pushed me to do what I was uncertain I could, and he changed my career trajectory. And then countless of inspiring colleagues, many of whom are here, my incredible board also represented here, my friends and my family. They continue to show up to back me in countless ways. I heard that proverb, lift as you climb, really early in my life. Full disclosure, I think the first time was in middle school while I was watching Oprah. So now you might know too much. And I wrote this saying down, actually, even as a kid. I wrote it on this small piece of paper that I carried in my wallet for years. And it just struck me. I wanted to remember who I was. I wanted to embody what I saw my family do for others despite having so little. And no matter where I landed, I wanted to remember that my social capital, essentially, and my success wasn't mine alone, that I had a responsibility to bring others along with me on the road because it was made for us and not just for me. I used to think that leveraging networks was some disingenuous way of rising, like maybe it was the easy way to success, and somehow I needed to prove that I could get there alone. But progress can't be achieved by one person. And I learned that as a community organizer, that if I was to lead towards justice, networks, relationships, sharing power, offering others the chance to lead, that would need to be centered in my approach to be successful. Networks and relationships help us build bridges and connections between people that strengthen our communities, and that's clearly been a theme today. They help us drive change and progress, and it's why this honor is so humbling for me. I've aimed to serve as a bridge throughout my life, and I have much more to do to be recognized by this organization that's dedicated its work to deeply and meaningfully build social capital for others just makes me profoundly grateful. At INP, like I said, we believe in the power of connection as well, and we need each other. The problems facing us just can't be solved in isolation. SCI has a fundamental understanding of that. And leadership doesn't need to be lonely at the top. Loneliness doesn't engender success. When there's no playbook, it's our networks and the access we have through our resources and support in those networks that get us through. It's our social capital. And we know that perhaps now better than ever. I hope that we'll each continue to play a role in sharing power and relationships with each other, and especially with our young people, as we hand over the work to future generations that's still really left for us to do. So I just thank you again for this recognition and for all that everyone here is doing to connect individuals and organizations across difference so our communities can be stronger. Thank you so much.